Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck. So, like I just said, I just came back from this amazing journey to Italy and Greece, and the next dish I'm going to make has absolutely nothing to do with either of those countries. Actually, there was this restaurant on the ship that had this cute little adorable interactive thing where they project it onto the table and a little chef goes on your plate and the whole table turns into an ocean and he goes fishing on the plate for certain ingredients to put into a soup or a stew. And look at me, I wore my seahorse shirt just for this occasion. Look at the seahorses. Why? Because we're making something from the sea. Guys, this is a French dish, and it's a French fish stew slash soup called Bouillabaisse. Yes, and when you spell it, you would never know it's pronounced that way, because it looks like it's Bouillabaisse or Bouillabaisse, I don't know. And it's essentially simply just a tomato-based fish soup that has tons of seafood ingredients in there, really whatever you want to make it, and it's truly astounding. But the best part, guys, you'd think something like that would be complex and complicated. Nope, it is a snap, a breeze, and the entire world is at ease. So guys, let's go right to the Instant Pot and fish for some sunken treasure, because we're going to be making the easiest, the quickest, and some of the tastiest bouillabaisse you've ever had. Let's go fishing. So let's begin with one leek, and I just really want to focus more on the green portion. Just like that. We're gonna just focus on this top portion here where it's a little greener and it's a little more flared out. Now, you definitely want to rinse your leeks out because they have a tendency to trap dirt inside since, you know, they're from the earth. So rinse them out good under the sink. And now what I want to do is I want to just basically open my leek up, and when I'm at the heart of my leek, just like this, I just want to now chop this up into fine little pieces. And there we go. And by the way, leeks are part of the onion family, so they might make you cry a little bit when you chop them. I mean, snap them up, you know? Now I want to go to my Instant Pot and I want to add in 4 tablespoons or a half a stick of salted butter. Now I want to come down to the control panel on my Instant Pot and hit the saute function and make sure I'm on the more or the high setting. Make sure you adjust so you get there if you're not. And I just want to give it some heat now. Let's melt that butter and let it bubble. And once the butter's melted and sizzling, I'm going to add in my leeks. And I'm just going to stir them around in the pot for about 3 to 5 minutes until they begin to get actually a little bit crispy. That's what I want here. And by the way, in case you wanted to know an exact measurement, this is about a half a cup of chopped up leek. And you could add more or less to your liking, whatever you want. The leek is kind of an untraditional ingredient to a bouillabaisse, but guys, when you crisp them up a little bit in butter, I'm telling you it's going to add an incredible distinction to this bouillabaisse. It's going to send it over the top. My little secret ingredient. Now when you add in your leeks with the butter in the beginning, by the way, make sure you keep an eye on it because they'll cook very quickly. You don't want them to burn, but just be wary of that, alright? And once our butter really begins to get foamy and bubbly, and we can see that our leeks are darker in color and a bit crispy looking, we're now ready to add in our next ingredient. And that's going to be a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I'm going to add that to the pot, and then just stir that up with the butter in the pot, and all the leeks as well. Alright, now this is going to be our base for the base. And now I'm going to add in 4 cups of fish broth. Now what is fish broth exactly? Well, I'm using a heaping tablespoon of fish better than bouillon added to 4 cups of water, and I mix it up in here, and I'm going to pour that into my crushed tomatoes. Alright, so now we have our fish broth, our crushed tomatoes, our buttered leeks, and we have to season this up. I'm going to take the juice of half a lemon, 1/3 of a cup of cooking sherry, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, a pinch of saffron, which is about a half a teaspoon. And saffron sometimes comes in a little jar, and it's like a pretty pricey, but it lasts a while, and you don't really use it in many recipes, so it's a great little thing to have in your kitchen handy. 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt, and a bay leaf. And now I'm going to stir everything up in the pot together so it gets nice and combined. And now I'm going to secure my lid, make sure it's in sealing position. And now I want to come down to my pot and hit the cancel button or the keep warm cancel button depending on your model. And I want to hit the pressure cook or the manual button depending on your model. And I'm going to go for 5 minutes, guys, on this at high pressure, and that's it. Now that we're done cooking, we're going to do a quick release. So my pin just dropped, so I'll take the lid off. And there's our delicious soup. Now I want to come back down to the control panel and hit the cancel button, and I want to hit the saute button again because we're going to now add our seafood and we want to cook it. I want to adjust it so it's on the normal or the medium setting. On the Duo Plus I adjust by hitting the saute button again, and on the Duo series I adjust by hitting the button that says adjust. So just in case you have different models. So I'm going to leave it on the normal or the medium heat setting, and it's time to go fishing for real. So I want to now take out my bay leaf and fish that out and discard it. But speaking of fishing, let's make this a bouillabaisse, shall we? I want to add in about 1 pound of a whitefish that is deboned and just sliced into pieces. Use a fillet. I'm using a cod, but you could also use some, like, you know, red snapper, porgy, or striped bass, anything of that nature. Use like a whitefish. And this, by the way, guys, is just the normal to have this on your fish. It's just some of the, not the skin itself, but it's just some of the reflection that's still on. Totally normal. We're going to add this to the bowl, and we're gonna let it cook in there for about 2 minutes, so set a little timer. And the reason I'm adding my fish now is because we have so many different types of seafood that cook at different paces and rates that we wanna make sure we do them after pressure cooking, because if we did it at the same time while pressure cooking, some of our seafood will be overcooked, and we don't want that to happen. So give it 2 minutes. And after about 2 minutes of our whitefish cooking, in my case cod, I'm going to now add in 1 pound of shrimp that I've already had peeled. You can leave the tails on, or you can have them removed. I like leaving them on in this situation. As well as about a half a pound to a pound of scallops. Now, I like using the little miniature ones, but you can use large ones if you want as well. I really like the little ones though for this. And I'm gonna stir that around in the pot and let that cook for another 2 minutes. Oh, this is getting very fishy in a good way. Okay, this is getting very bouillabaisse-y. And you'll see, within literally seconds of popping it in, the shrimp begins to curl. That's what happens when they get cooked, they curl up. And now the last seafood ingredient I'm gonna add to my bouillabaisse is gonna be some lump crab meat. Now, you can get this in the refrigerated section of many supermarkets, or even Costco carries it. It's not the cheapest stuff, but it's incredible. You get what you pay for. And this is already ready to eat, by the way, right out of the jar. We always wanna keep it refrigerated. And now I'm gonna add in about 8 ounces worth of this stuff, okay? It's 8 ounces or about a half a pound. Oh yeah. And we just want to heat that through. We don't need to really have it cooked. It's ready to eat right out of the can, like I said. And we have one final touch, and that's going to be to add 2 tablespoons of half and half. And now we'll just stir that in. And folks, we now have an absolutely fabulous, what the French call a magnifique bouillabaisse. Look at all that. The scallops, the fish, the crab meat, the shrimp. And by the way, you can add really any seafood you want. You want some mussels in there? Add some mussels. You want some clams? Add clams. You want some lobster? Add lobster. It's up to you. Hey, even calamari can be fun. You can throw a few rings in there. Whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit here. But the bouillabaisse should just be full of wonderful seafood delights and treasures. Okay, we are now ready to serve this up into some bowls. Start by ladling in some soup with some shrimp and some fish in there. Let's get some scallops and crab meat and some of that cod. Oh boy, we are looking delightful here, folks. Just delightful. More crab meat and some scallops and cod in there. Let's try it out. Oh boy, there is so much going on in here, guys. It's literally like the ocean in my bowl, except a lot more flavorful, and it doesn't smell fishy or anything. It smells actually incredible. Oh my God. That is seriously some good stuff right there. This is taking me all the way to home base. Bouillabaisse. All of the seasonings in there are absolutely amazing. With the leeks, you don't forget about those. They added amazing flavor to it, as well as that fantastic better than bouillon fish base, which really sets the tone for the base of the soup, as well as the tomatoes. And then of course we add the spices. But it's the seafood itself that really makes the flavor going on at the end, with all the flavors coming together. I mean, look at everything in this bowl. Look at all this stuff, guys. It's so generously packed. And the best part is you could add more seafood if you want. You could add less. You could vary what you want to do. You could put lobster. You could put calamari in there. You could put clams, mussels, whatever you want to do. The choice is yours. Oh, and might I suggest you add some French bread that's nice and crusty to the little bowl here, and then you take a bite. Heaven. I'm in heaven. And look, here's the shrimp. I don't actually mind leaving the tails on because it's easy to just snatch them out sometimes. Perfect. What a wonderful soup. And of course, all that crab. That crab meat is so premium. I love it. Guys, if you enjoy these videos and these recipes, go to pressureluckcookings.com for even more of them. I have so many recipes there. More coming every week. There's plenty coming from my trip, so don't want to miss those because it's going to be amazing stuff from Italy and Greece. All very, very easy to make, all absolutely spectacular in flavor. And go to facebook.com/pressureluckcooking so you can know when those videos come out and those new recipes drop. You don't want to miss that. Also, any items that go on sale, you'll know about there. Some humor and some great tips. Also, you'll get some great advice from others in the group. And at Pressure Luck is my handle on YouTube, to subscribe to me there, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Pin any recipe on pressureluckcooking.com to any board on Pinterest. Feel free, share the wealth. Hey, thank you so much again. And guys, if you like a dish with lots of fish, oh boy, you're about to get your wish.